Welcome back to Just Justine Time with your host, Justine, or KittyCat23, depending on where you know me from. Welcome back to this week's episode. How is your wonderful day going? Is it going good? Bad? Well, no matter what, I hope you're getting through it. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about color theory and color psychology, fashion psychology, and basically the ins and outs of what different colors can do to change your mood or to change people's opinions on you. Because, fun fact, depending on what color you're wearing, can make you come out as like a person that maybe you not really are. So it's going to be really interesting to dive into. Depending on what your favorite color is, says a lot about you. Depending if your favorite colors are purples or if they're pinks, greens, browns, it all means something, essentially. But on today's podcast, we are going to be more focusing on the fashion of it and just how you can style different clothes to make you come out and seem differently depending on what clothes you're wearing. So to start, let's start with the color I am wearing. Today I am wearing a pink shirt. It's cute. I'm wearing it backwards, actually. If you're watching this in podcast form and not the video, understand that the front, or I guess technically the back, is like crisscrossed, but I like it in the front because I think it looks a lot cooler. So this is a very muted pink that I am wearing, but it does mean something, essentially. Pink is usually associated with kindness, warmness, nurturing, and like sweetness. Essentially, if you wear a soft pink, it comes off as that you're a very sweet and warm, loving person. Pink is also associated with femininity. Since pink is associated with females, it can make you come across as a very girly person, or a very feminine person. Though there is a difference between the types of pink that you wear. It's not all shades of pink that make you look like this. The pink I am wearing is a duller pink or a light pink. Light pink makes you come off as, sweet, kind, like soft little girl kind of thing. But if you do wear hot pink, it is associated with energy and vibrance. So if you're wearing like a hot pink top with hot pink pants, you are going to come across as a very loud and very like, whoa, you are right there person. But though if you do wear hot pink, you still are associated with femininity. You'd be basically known as like, I am a girl, like really loud, other than just like, I am a girl, soft. Also, there is a cool color out there called Baker Miller pink, and there was actually a study done on it because there was association to Baker Miller pink that if you looked at this color for too long, it would depress you or make you really angry. But good news, there was a study conducted in a prison where they painted the walls this Baker Miller pink and crime rates actually went down. So the Baker Miller pink theory got proven wrong, and now Baker Miller pink is known as a soft, caring, nurturing color. I don't know where that stigma came from, but I did hear it around growing up in my high school, just that this pink color was not a good color, but it goes to show that it was falsely proven wrong. So we're going to go through all the colors of the rainbow, essentially, and we're just going to see what each and every color associates to what. So we're going to start off with red because, start of the rainbow, right? Red is associated with boldness, fierce, and like strong, essentially. It's known as like, if you wear like, let's say you wear all red or just a red top. Essentially, it's if you have a piece of, do you not like the red top? Do you wear the color red? No, you wear the color black and orange, don't you? Everyone say hello. Yes, yeah. Everyone say hello to Guinness. She loves to make her daily appearances with the podcast. So the reason why red is associated with bold and confident is because red is an attention grabber. And if you look at a lot of advertisements like McDonald's, Wendy's, Canadian Tire, KFC, Jollibee, literally anything you can think of, most likely that advertisement or the logo is red. And the reason why is because red is meant to grab attention. It's meant to be like, hey, look at me right here. I'm right here. And so that is why stop signs are red, because they are the best color that will grab your attention. Red is also known as the most attractive color. If you wear red, you will be seen as more attractive subconsciously. It's also associated with love, like Cupid. Like red is associated with Cupid and love, but it's also associated with the devil, because when you think of the devil, you think of like a red little demon guy, right? So when you wear the color red, it actually brings out love and aggression in depending on how, like where you are, where you're wearing it. In women, if you wear red, men, like, they do find it attractive, but they may actually find you a little bit too like bold, and that they might think that you're a very fierce or like aggressive woman, essentially. If men wear red, it is kind of the same. Red is seemed way more attractive on men. Like I said, it's a very attention-grabbing color, but it can be counteractive because, again, since red brings out aggression in people, some people may think that you are aggressive if you are a guy. So again, like I said, red is bold, confident, intense, passionate. It's like if you want to stand out in a room, wear red. Just wear red. Also, there is a cool thing in psychology that's been recently getting studied. It is called the red nails complex. If you do not know what the red nails complex is, it is essentially a woman who wears red nails will get better treatment from men than any other nail color. You know, a lot of you may be thinking, like, why red? Like, what does red have to do with anything? Well, turns out that red is also associated to being a mom, like mothers, or not the color red specifically, red nails, because you see a lot of moms wearing red nails, right? So if you are younger, like my age, let's say, and you're wearing red nails, men are going to protect you and take care of you more because of that red nail mom complex. They essentially subconsciously think that they are your mom. I said, like, not like that, but like how would I explain this? They put two and two together where if their mom wears red nails, since most moms do, if you are wearing red nails, they feel a sense to protect you and help you and nurture for you, since that's what their mom did for them. That also does depend if the guy has a good relationship with his mom or not, because I think you guys could put two and two together that if they do not like their mom, they're not gonna like you, since you are going to be associated to a mom. I thought that was pretty interesting, considering that I had no idea that the color of my nails can persuade a guy. So maybe I'm gonna try out the new red nails theory and see if that's actually true, because I have no idea. Not one bit. All right, the next color of the rainbow is, of course, orange. How did you guys learn the color of the rainbow growing up? Because I learned about orangey biv, and I'm gonna tell you, it took me till like grade 6 to finally understand what that meant. Because I always thought that blue came before green, and because it sounded to me like orange biv, like it just sounded like there was no G in there, so I kind of just like threw G in, or green in. I don't know how you guys learned about it, but that's how I learned about it. So if you wear orange, especially orange, I mean any kinds of orange, muted orange, bright orange, I don't know, charismatic orange, whichever orange you wear, you are known as charismatic, full of energy, creative, and confident. So a lot of people who wear orange are like artists or even like architect designers, even interior designers. If you watch some of those shows like HTGV, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of them actually wear splashes of orange in their color, or a lot of places tend to put orange backdrops in living rooms and stuff. And that is because or actually not in living rooms. Orange is actually best in an office because it can spark creativity. And again, if you wear the color orange, it can spark creativity, gives you a sense of warmth. Like, essentially people will think you're a very fun and bubbly person, but they also think you're a very confident person because of how bright the orange is. And people who wear orange are usually associated with being very ambitious, very out there, very outgoing. Though, there is a bad thing to wearing orange. So stay away from wearing orange jumpsuits or full orange outfits. If you do want to wear orange pants with like a black or white top, or wear an orange top with blue, white, black pants. Never go full orange. And also, even if you want to wear orange as just like a cute little shirt or whatever, never ever wear orange to a job interview or to meeting the parents for the first time. And I know you're just like, wait, why? I thought it's supposed to mean that you're creative and ambitious and everything. Well, orange, especially full orange, is also correlated with convicts or prisoners. And you may think about, like, you know, Orange is the New Black, or any shows that show prisoners, they tend to wear the orange jumpsuits, the prisoner jumpsuits. So when you're going to a job interview, subconsciously that boss is going to think that you are a criminal because you are wearing orange, especially if you are wearing the same colored like orange that convicts do wear. Maybe you can get away with it if you're wearing like a pale pastel orange or something like that. But, and it's the same goes for me and the family, they're going to think you're a criminal, they're going to think you're bad news. Which I just find absolutely insane that a color could totally affect how someone perceives you. So, it's crazy. The next color is yellow, of course, the next one in the rainbow. Yellow, so first I'm going to start this out with that advertisements also use yellow. Like McDonald's, Wendy's, everything I've already said also have splashes of yellow because it's tied in with active, creativeness, happiness, and even braveness. So if you're wearing a yellow jumpsuit or yellow anything, it brings a lot of joy to your character. It can also make you seem like a positive and youthful person. It also makes you seem like you're an easygoing person if you're wearing yellow. And the reason for this is because we associate yellow with the sun, and we associate yellow with happiness, essentially, because, you know, the sun makes you happy, and also if you, like, grew up watching Teletubbies, like, you know, the sun is, like, the main thing. I'm kidding. That's not actually it, but essentially the color yellow, it stands out, it's bright, it's very cheerful, and it also makes you look younger. So if you are trying to look a little younger, maybe a splash of yellow in your closet would help you a lot. Though there was an interesting study that was done, and it turned out that when you wear the color yellow, or if you paint like your walls in your house the color yellow, it does bring a note of joyfulness and like happiness. But in contrast, if you do stare at yellow for too long, especially a bright, bold yellow, it can actually increase your fear, or it can increase the cortisol in your body, thus inducing fear into you, due to how bold the color is. So you need to be careful for that. I guess it depends where you're going to wear yellow. If you're going to be wearing yellow to, let's say, a kid's classroom, then that yellow is going to be associated with positivity. The kids are going to love you. But if you, say, wear bright yellow to an office meeting, you could come off as, you may still be, like, easy and playful and outgoing. The only issue is that you may instill fear in some people, which I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good way to, you know, make your peers, make your workers feel scared because you're better than them, or whatever take you want to go with that. So the next color we're going to move on to is blue, specifically light and dark blue, because each one means two different things. So blue is strongly associated with the sky and the ocean, right? Because they are both blue. So they are associated with calmness and dependability. And I would assume the dependability comes from, since, you know, water and the sky never leaves. So I assume that's why you are more of a dependable person when you wear this color. I do understand the feeling of calmness. Everyone loves to hear the lovely beach waves crashing against their house. That's the dream, honestly. I've never left the country. I just actually got my passport like a month ago. So I'm actually really excited because I've never actually heard like the ocean crash next. I've never heard actual beach waves. I've only heard like, I don't know, a lake wave, but I don't even think that's a thing. Regardless, wearing blue also makes you come off as loyal and trustworthy. So if you want to be trusted in a situation, feel free to wear blue. And And if you wear full blue, say a blue suit or a blue jumpsuit, it can actually show that you have a very strong expertise in something. Though, even if you don't have a strong expertise in something, wearing blue, people will associate you to that. And that is because in a lot of different fields, blue jumpsuits are a huge thing. Whether that's in trades, artistry, anything, you do see blue suits and blue jumpsuits in different places. I do know that some artists who get really messy with painting like to wear that blue jean tracksuit. If you're a welder, you wear the blue and yellow. So if you are going for a full blue look, you are going to look like a professional, though it could kind of come back at you because people, depending on who you're with and what your like job statuses and friend statuses are, some people may think of you as lesser, because, you know, a lot of blue jumpsuits are in the trades. I am not saying trades are lesser than like white collar jobs. I 100% agree that trades work is way better than white collar work, and it's also easier to get into, though it is physically demanding and very hard work. You are an expert in what you do no matter what you are, though there are some snobs out there that think that janitors, welders, plumbers, electricians, they think that they're not as good as someone who works an office job, though I would disagree with that, and I would say that I'd rather be a plumber than know how to run books. I'm not trying to say like I think an accountant is better than a janitor. You get what I mean. I would say being a janitor or a welder is better than sitting in an office doing other people's work. But that's just my hot take. Also, if you wear blue, it is the best color to wear on a first date. I do not know why. Studies just shown that when you wear blue, you come off as a lot more trustworthy and loyal, like I've been saying, and it is a very open color. So if you want to impress someone on a first date, wear blue. Though I feel like if I've ever went on a first date, I usually wear blue jeans, so I wonder if that counts. Like I said, there is a difference between light and dark blue. So dark blue essentially is what I've all been saying. Dark blue is the trust, calmness, everything. Though light blue does trigger an emotional response the same as white. If you are wearing light blue, it triggers the same emotional response as white, which makes you seem that you come off as friendly and very approachable. So don't be surprised that if you are wearing a light blue top, that someone is going to come and ask you for help, whether that's for directions or the time or whatever, because blue is more approachable than any other color, which I find very interesting. I am a very introverted person when it comes to being out in public, so light blue I'm going to stay away from now on, I think. So the next color we are moving on to is green. The green is associated with confidence and a natural appearance. So if you do wear green, you do come off as natural, as kind of like an environmentalist. And that's just because, you know, when you hear eco or eco-friendly, you always hear, I feel like a lot of people who think if you can see pictures in your head, green is the most associated color with that. So yeah, it's associated with, of course, nature and plants. It also is the best color to induce calmness on you. It will reduce stress way more than any other color. So if you feel like you are really stressed out in your life and don't know what to do, maybe wear green. Wear a green sweater, a green pants, whatever, and it might calm you down a little bit. Because yeah, and that is also why green is one of the best colors to paint your bathroom and or kitchen. A lot of people go for the earth tones in a kitchen, and that is essentially because you know how stressful cooking can get. I do understand not everyone thinks cooking is stressful, but I do in certain scenarios, and green is supposed to basically bring down that sense of franticness. Though you can go the other way with kitchens. Okay, if you guys are wondering why I know so much about colors and interior designs, because you're probably just like, oh my god, you must have just looked that up on the internet. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. So, shamelessly enough, I worked at a paint store for 5 years of my life. It wasn't necessarily a paint store. It was basically, okay, I worked at Canadian Tire for 5 years of my life. It is essentially a hardware store or an everything store, whatever. And I worked in the paint department for 5 years of it. So I had to do all of the Canadian Tire training of what colors go great in what rooms. I also can tell you what stains and what levels you need. As in, you need satin for the bathroom, you need eggshell for the living room, but you need semi-hard for only trim, or semi-transparent for trim and everything. So like, I know the ins and outs of paint way more than you think I do. I would say that's a great skill that I have. If I ever buy a house in this day and age, maybe that will come in handy. But you know, as me and you guys all know, I am never buying a house in my lifetime. Due to the housing market, I have just come to accept I will never ever be able to own my own place. But you know what? We don't think about that. Happiness and calmness. Green is great. So yes, when it comes to the kitchen, you can either go from the more calming effect with your earth tones, or my mom's house actually, she did this. She painted her kitchen orange and yellow, so she wanted that bright and lively effect, which also works well. If you don't get stressed in the kitchen, then lively colors will tend to boost your creativity, and it makes it better for when you're in the kitchen. When it comes to a living room, I actually forgot to say about this. When it comes to a dining room specifically, or a bedroom, never paint them blue. And that no matter what color. Dark blue is the worst though. No, I mistaken you guys. I'm so sorry. Never paint your bedroom blue. And the reason why is blue actually interacts with your melatonin receptors in your head, and it makes it harder for you to fall asleep. And this is actually why blue light from computers make you go to sleep less. It is because blue light does interrupt melatonin. I don't know whether it's the specific blue, or like the blue color, or the blue rays. I'm not sure what it gives off. I just know that if you have a blue room, it is going to be very hard to sleep in. Though, when it comes to your kitchen, it actually is good to paint it blue, but it also depends what you're going for, because blue can actually suppress your appetite. The color blue, I don't know why, it just mutes your appetite completely. So if you want a kitchen that is welcoming and like makes you feel hungry, as in if you do a lot of hosting, do not go for blue, because people are not going to be as hungry, which is so interesting. Usually with dining rooms, you want to go with reds. You do also want to go with like whites, depending on what theme you're going for. It really does depend, right? And then yes, when it comes to your living rooms are, you can really do whatever you want with it. Colors don't really matter when you're in a living room. Usually you go with green for a calming sense, but it doesn't matter. For bathrooms, again, same thing. Any other color, you can go for the calming effect, joyful effect. Though I would say stay away from bright colors, because it can actually make it very like bold. And since you go to the bathroom in the morning, most likely every morning, when you turn on those lights, you do not want to be blinded with colors of yellow and orange. That is why people go for muted and earth tones, because you can wake up naturally. There was something I learned in my painting course, that brown actually isn't a good color to paint your bathroom. Whether that's associated with going number 2 or whatever it is, you should stay away from brown. Though I am a hypocrite on it, because I really do like the color of brown bathrooms. My grandma's old house when we lived in BC, she had a all brown bathroom, and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. But like I said, it usually does depend on the person, and it depends on what colors you like in the end. The last color that I will talk about when it comes to rooms is black. We haven't got to the black color yet, but since we are on the topic of painting different colored rooms, I will say it. Never, ever, ever paint any color of your room, any room in your house, black. You only leave black to trim or ceilings, depending what you're going for. But black will make you depressed. It subconsciously brings your mood down, makes you sad. Never, ever, ever paint your room black. And it's so funny, because when I was 14 and was figuring out what color I wanted to paint my bedroom, I wanted to go with black and pink. And my mom told me not to paint my room black because it will make me depressed. And I'm very happy that I listened to her, because Turned out, like 4 years later, I learned that black does actually make you depressed. So going back to green, like I said, it is associated with nature, calmness, trustworthiness. Though, again, there is another conflict with it, is that since it's the color of money, you can also be perceived as envious. People will envy you subconsciously because you are wearing the color of money, which is interesting to think about because my dad in his first house, his whole house, he painted the walls green because he said it was the color of money. And I always found that pretty funny. But yeah, if you do wear money colors, just kind of be aware that people might envy you a little bit, but maybe that's the look you're going for. Who knows? I don't know your life. The next color we are moving on to is purple. If you wear purple in your day-to-day life, you are known as sophisticated. People might see you as a leader. They may perceive you as luxurious or confident. And the reason for this is actually, it dates back into history, is that the color purple or purple dye back in the day was super hard to get. So the color purple was associated with royalty, and only royalty people could wear purple back in the day because the dye was such an expensive color. It also goes, when the queen was alive, rest in peace, queen. She also used to wear a lot of purples, and again, purple is 100% associated with royalty. So that is why people see you as luxury and sophisticated, because, royalty is seen as luxury and sophisticated. So if you want to fit in, if you have maybe some rich friends, maybe wearing purple will give them a better idea that, hey, I'm rich too, even if you actually aren't, right? Though purple, again, its conflict is that you can come off as arrogant or intimidating, because again, purple is a very loud color. Though a lot of people think that purple is not that much of a loud color, it is, and that is because in color theory itself, it is taking red and blue, very bold primary colors, and making them into your secondary color, and secondary colors tend to be very loud. It's not until you get to your third colors that is when it starts to get muted. So again, it really depends what you're going for with your purple colored look. I don't even think I own anything purple in my closet now that I think about it. Maybe I should work on getting more purple stuff. So now that we have went through all of the different colors of the rainbow, we are going to move on to your more mutual colors, or i.e. black and white. So we're going to start off with white. A lot of people in business wear white underneath their black suits. It is also known, so if you wear white, whether that's all white, white top, white pants, you get the gist at this point. If you do wear white, you are seen as a very innocent, pure person. You may also be seen as like a balanced person. So white is associated with angels and like God, essentially. So if you do wear all white, you are seen as purity, and this also comes from weddings, as in the brides tend to wear white to show their purity and innocence. And a little fun fact for you guys, though I feel like everyone knows this, but it doesn't seem like absolutely everyone knows this. The reason why it's not allowed, like you're not allowed to wear red to a wedding, is because if you wear red to a wedding, it makes it seem like you slept with the groom. And the reason why red is associated with that is because red is, red is associated with the love and the devil, essentially. And since, if they slept with the bride, they're not pure, so they are red. And that is why you do never, ever wear red to a wedding. Don't do it. Don't do it unless the dress code says to. But going back to white, yes, you hold a pure, like, innocence, purity. People are gonna think of you as a little kid, essentially, as someone who has not done any harm. Though, if you do also wear white, it's gonna make people think that you have your shit together. They are going to think that you know what you're doing, that you have your life together, and everything is just working for you. And my own take on that is because I feel like if you wear all white it's because you don't fear anything in the world. Because I just bought a white two-piece, and it is the prettiest thing. The first time I ever put it on, I got makeup on the collar. So I'm convinced that white is also seen like that, because the second you get it dirty, you're no longer seen as like you have your life together. It now looks like you're messy and like all of that stuff. So that's why, like, I love wearing white. I think white is so pretty, but I get it dirty so fast. So, like, if anyone has any tips on how to keep white white, let me know, because I don't know. And it's frustrating. So, moving on to its contrast, black. What does black mean when you wear it? So, black means, so people will perceive you as a person of authority, a person of power. They may think you're very elegant, and they also may think you are very mysterious. If you wear all black or a lot of black in your wardrobe, people are going to think you're very mysterious, and that you're kind of hiding something. And this stems from emo and goth people. I used to be really emo back in my middle school days, to the point where I had the whole scene haircut. I had it all black wardrobe, heavy makeup. Like, it's crazy how different I look. A lot of people don't even recognize me when I was in my emo phase. But the reason why you are seen as mysterious is because, yes, a lot of people who are considered themselves emo or goth tend to keep to themselves a lot and keep that huge mysteriousness to themselves. So wearing all black, so a black top and black pants, will make you come off as elegant, confident, and attractive, and they may even see you as more intelligent. And the reason for this is because models wear this color. So something in the modeling industry that maybe not everyone knows about is that a lot of models, when they go do their day-to-day life, or if they are trying to get scouted, whether they go to the industry or just out in public, you are supposed to wear all black. All black is supposed to make you look slimmer, and it also accentuates your features since there's no other color to distract from yourself. So when you wear all black, you are perceived as more intelligent and more attractive, because everyone always says wear black because it is a more flattering color. And it is, because black tends to get rid of all of the, like, basically it hides, like, let's say fat rolls or muffin top, like, it hides it, which is great. I love the color black myself. It also is, I should note that if you wear vertical patterns, it also makes you look skinnier than if you wear horizontal patterns. And that is just due to an eye trick, that vertical you kind of associate with skinny, with horizontal you kind of seen as wide, because that is what we associate. And also, if you wear polka dots, you are seen as a very busy person, because polka dots is a very busy pattern, and it makes you seem like you are very, not crazy, but, like, what's the right word to use here? Like, you are a very peppy, talky, like, whenever you hear someone wear a polka dot dress, it kind of takes you back to, like, I would say, like, the 60s or the 70s, and it's like when women would, like, have a very, like, outgoing personality. I don't know the right thing, what I'm trying to say, but it's essentially that. Also, with the color black, you are seen as more stable. You are seen, like, again, you have your shit together, exactly like white, just in a completely other way. So white, you're seen as useful and, like, very approachable, right, because you're so young. Well, with black, you are seen more as a person of authority and a person of power. And there was actually a study done that people are more likely to give money to a person in a black suit than they are a colored suit. So maybe next time you're trying to do a money negotiation with someone, wear all black. Might work. And this, again, is because black comes off as professional, because whether you're at a wedding or at a work office space, a lot of guys and girls, well, guys tend to wear black suits, and that is where that comes from. But going back to what we were talking about earlier with the different bedroom colors and everything, black can also make you depressed over time, and that also means if you do wear full black in your outfit, it can also make you feel depressed or sad or down. So one of the tricks you can do, and this is something in fashion that people say, is that if you are going for an all black look, try and put a pop of color anywhere you can, whether that's an overcoat, a necklace, a belt, like breaking up the black will help you with your own mood. But again, if you are going for that flattering, slimmer, attractive look, you do have to stick with all black. So it's like, you know, when they say beauty is pain, it's essentially that. It's like, do you want to be perceived as attractive and stuff, but at risk that you may be depressed? But I mean, I feel like in this world, everyone is depressed anyway, so it's like, might as well be cute while being depressed. The next color we are going to talk about is gray. So gray is associated with modesty and intelligence. It can also make you appear wiser. And the reason for this is because gray is associated with gray hair, and in turn is associated with older people or old people. So if you do wear gray, you will be seen as older. But you may also be seen as wiser because of it, which is interesting to think about, because I remember a couple years ago, I forget whether it was 2 or 3, when the silver hair trend came out, or the platinum blonde. I know a couple of my friends have the silver hair look, and I know a lot of people who have the platinum blonde look. And a lot of hairdressers will try and tell you this, and this is what my hairdresser told me when I wanted to go platinum. Actually, no, I did want to go silver. I used to have blonde hair at one point in my life, so I wanted to get the silver hair trend, but everyone said that it would make you look older, and it does make sense. So that is why blonde makes you look younger, where gray makes you look older. It kind of sucks when you think about it. Regardless, gray is the most unemotional color, so it makes you seem calm and composed in situations. So if you are trying to maybe do a presentation or something like that, wear gray, because it will make you seem like you are wise and kind of know what you're doing. And since gray is also an unemotional color, it can calm your nerves in a certain way. Though, so from what I have taken from everything I've said in this podcast, gray and green is the best colors to wear to a presentation because it is the most calm. But if you want to be seen as the center of attention in a room, it seems like yellow, orange, and red are going to be your best colors. And it's ironic because those colors actually go together, so it kind of makes sense. The last color that we are going to talk about is brown, and this is actually my style of color. I have so much brown in my closet. I absolutely love the look of like the fall tones. Like I love brown tones so much. So if you wear brown, people will perceive you that you have strength, that you are reliable. They may think you are safe, as in if you wear the color brown, you bring in a lot of comfort and security to people. So you're seen as, like, let's just say a big teddy bear. So brown is also associated with the earth. It's associated with the ground, right? Dirt and everything. So it gives you a sense of groundness, which makes you look really dependable and reliable. And again, it's because ground doesn't move. You know? Also, brown is the least threatening color, so it is also a very approachable color. Wearing brown, again, gives people a sense of security and everything. And again, this color also gives a sense of calmness. So what we've learned today is that basically any colors of the earth brings a sense of calmness, and that is why earth tones are gray, white, brown, and green. And it is all because they are tied to the earth in some way or another. And that's pretty cool to think about, because I wear brown, and this also goes for like brown hair too. If you have brown hair, you are seen more as approachable than blondes. And I'm not trying to say being blonde, you're not approachable, but blondes, you know how they always say it, blondes have more fun. It is because blondes are known as crazy, right? I'm not trying to say, I was blonde, and my mom openly admits that I should have been blonde growing up, like born blonde. So trust me when I say blondes are crazy, I am saying I am crazy, even though I am a brunette. It's all a lie, honestly. The whole, I really shouldn't be brown. I really should dye my hair blonde again, but that's too expensive nowadays, so we are not going to do that anytime soon. Anyways, the next thing I want to talk about color theory, since we did go through all the different colors, is that I want to let you guys know, specifically more for girls, but if you are a guy who wears makeup, and no shame here, this might be helpful for you too. So there is a thing with color theory that everyone has their own colors and their own color palette. And this depends on your skin tone, eye color, hair color, everything. So there's light and dark looks, which can either wash yourself out or make you stand out more. I do know on TikTok that there is filters that you can try and see, but you usually should go to a professional for it because they will know like what you're looking for better. I do know there's a test you can do with your own veins. If you look on the veins in your arm, if they appear blue, I'm pretty sure that means you have a cool toned skin. If they appear more green, that means that you have warmer skin color. And I'm pretty sure mine are blue, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to pretend they're blue. I think I have a cool undertone. Regardless, different colors can make you look better or worse. And these are themed as in the different seasons. You can either be a spring, summer, fall, or winter person, and then you go through that. Spring colors are more pastel-y, while winter colors are more bold silvers and cools, right? So when you do get these evaluations done, you go the difference between warm and light, and then essentially what these professionals will do is they find the colors that look best on you specifically. I would love to get one done. I would love to see what goes well with me since I literally have no idea, but it would be awesome. So that's something you can check out if you want to do by yourself. But regardless, if you are getting into makeup or do makeup already, there is different colors that actually can make your eye color look better or worse. Though I'm not discriminating, if you want to do a smoky eye with a brown eye, it still looks great, though it may not be the best thing for you. So I'm going to go through them right now. Starting off with green. You know what? Might as well start off with the rarest color. If you guys don't know, green is the rarest color in the world, with 2% of people being green-eyed, which is pretty cool. It's a very cool hybrid to have. So if you have the color green eyes, the best colors for you are copper, lilac, and pink. Lilac, and hot pink. So actually, it's funny. I saw a TikTok today, right before I made this podcast, of someone saying that a white redhead girl with green eyes, or a white redheads who wear green look stunning. And that is so true. I fully agree with it. And I think this is like, if you think of like Fiona from Shrek, you'll know how pretty red hair and green look together. So the color of rust will bring that pop of green out for you. Same with lilac and hot pink. They just work the best with the colors. Lilac is more for if you want to go for a softer look, where hot pink is if you want to go for a more bolder look. When it comes to browns, I actually could not find any contrast for green eyes, so you guys are very lucky that they don't mute you out with anything, and I'm kind of jealous. But if you have brown eyes like me, I could even be considered that I have black eyes, though I do know I have brown and not black, because black eyes tend to come from Asian culture and Asian genetics, and I have not an ounce of Asian in me, so I find it disrespectful if I say I have black eyes. So I have brown eyes. So the best colors for brown eyes are green, plum, and blue. And also golden shimmer is your best friend with brown eyes. Reason for this is because brown eyes are very dark colors, though plum and burgundy do go with brown very well. They kind of make you look like mysterious. They can make you look formal, essentially like that. Blue also goes well with it. I'm not sure if it's dark or light blue. I'm going to assume dark blue, because when you look on the contrast of brown is gray and black, which is really interesting. And that's why I was talking about the smoky eye, that gray and black for brown-eyed people don't really look good. That is why when you actually see a lot of smoky eye looks, on whether that's Instagram, TikTok, on YouTube, you see them use golden shimmer instead of silver shimmer. And it's because silver shimmer, your eye will get lost in the smoky eye. But when you put golden shimmer for a smoky eye, it makes it pop more. Very interesting to think about, I won't lie. So yeah, if you have brown eyes and want to do a smoky eye, maybe instead of that silver shimmer, you go golden shimmer. Last but not least, we are going to be talking about blue eyes, and so this is the exact opposite of brown eyes, essentially. blue eyes look the best with smoky-eyed colors. They look the best with orange, gray, brown, and burgundy. But burgundy only looks great for super light eyes. If you have dark blue eyes, burgundy can be more of a washed up look. But yeah, so it's really interesting to me how gray and blue go really well together, but I guess that makes sense. I absolutely die for smoky eyes when it comes to blue eyes. I actually had a thing growing up. I really wanted to buy blue contacts because I hated my brown eyes. And I am a sucker for blue eyes and brown hair. I love the look. I've always wanted it. But sadly, due to genetics, if you have brown hair, it is very, very rare that you are going to get blue eyes if you have brown hair. And if you guys want to hear the science behind it, since I am technically a psychology science podcast, I will tell you about it. If you do know anything about Punnett squares, that is where it comes from. And I do know that a lot of people do not know what Punnett squares are. It is essentially, so as of me, I have brown hair and brown eyes. These are both dominant genes. There's a difference between dominant genes and recessive genes. Recessive genes are not dominant, essentially. But if you have a dominant gene, it will always overpower the recessive, right? So since I have brown eyes and brown hair, I 100% I will have a brown-eyed, brown-haired kid, depending on who my significant other is or who I have a kid with. So if I had a kid with someone who had brown eyes, brown hair, it's brown eyes, brown hair, no matter what. But ironically, depending on your family tree, two brown-eyed, brown-haired people do have a possibility of making a blue-eyed, brown-haired child, and that's where they come from. It's a very rare genetic. So if you have blue eyes and brown hair, you are rare and you are lucky. So how this is supposed to happen is that, so say two people have brown hair, brown eyes. If their parents at any point had blue eyes, that means you have a recessive gene. So in my family, my grandpa has blue eyes. So therefore, blue eyes do run in my family, which means it gives me a 25% chance that I could have a kid with blue eyes. And it goes the same thing with the other person. If they have anyone, they have a 25%. Well, and when it comes to the Punnett squares, it's because if you since I have a dominant and a recessive, he has a dominant and a recessive, when you put them together, it only leaves one box for recessive. And that is why two brown-eyed people can have a blue-eyed child. But, funny story, two blue-eyed people can never ever have a brown-eyed child. So since blue eyes are recessive, that means you carry no dominant gene with you. So if you have blue eyes and you date someone or have a baby with someone who's blue-eyed, you will never ever have brown eyes in the rest of your history. And funny story, actually, when I was in high school in my biology class, my biology teacher said a really funny story. And this is the reason why I remember the Punnett squares so well, is because of this story. And it is essentially, so when I was in high school, she said 3 years ago, before we were there, she was talking about Punnett squares and how, again, blue-eyed people cannot have a brown-eyed kid. And there was a kid in that class who had brown eyes, and he raised his hand and was like, hey, well, that doesn't really make sense because I have brown eyes and my mom and dad have blue eyes. And so my teacher at the time told the guy and was like, oh, well, that can't be, you are probably wrong, that your mom and dad probably do have a brown eyes, you just haven't noticed. So it turns out that when he went home and told his mom and dad about this, his dad wanted a paternity test because he has been having, he never had suspicions that the wife ever cheated, right? So they were like, that's really weird, we don't believe you. But they ended up taking the paternity test, and it turned out that the mom of this kid slept with the neighbor. And no one knew about it. And they only found out because in grade 10, their son found out that he technically couldn't be possible, and it broke up his whole family. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I broke up my whole family because I had brown eyes, I don't know what I would do. But I guess science prevails and prove that, because I could not imagine, like, I can't even imagine being the mom being like, oh yeah, I got away with it, like, that's totally my son, and then for him, like, literally, 16 years later to expose you because, oh hey, by the way, your genetics don't add up. So I always think back to that. I'm just like, damn, it is crazy how you can tell. Going on more about that, it is also possible for two white people to have a black baby. Albeit it is super rare, super uncommon, but it can happen. Ironically, it could happen to me because my grandma just did a 23andMe, like an ancestry test, and it turns out she is 22% African. She is German. Like, she is born, raised German, but yes, she has African descent in her. That is crazy. Which, though, like, I am not black. I am whiter than a potato chip. But, like, honestly, it's really interesting because that 22% can technically appear, like, because it never really goes, so like technically 22% it goes into like 10% into the father, and then it'd be 5% into me, right? So 5% technically I am African. Maybe I'm going to be Woe Vicky now and claim that I am black. Just because you have black in you doesn't mean, see, that is a very hard topic to get into, because yes, technically you are considered that, but what actually makes you black, right? And I'm not going to get into that because that is not something I need to get into. I am white. I shouldn't even be commenting on this, and I want you guys to understand that. I would really like to hear it from someone who is of color, to explain to me what makes you essentially a person of color. Is it your skin? Is it the type of hair you have? Because I do know that some white people can have really kinky hair, though usually they have like mixed in them. Regardless, I am just not a fan of certain people saying that they are black on the internet because they are 10% black. No, because then that means I could claim that I am black because I have 5% African descent in me. No, I'm not. I am white. I am a potato chip. But regardless, ancestry stuff, it makes sense. Yeah, I don't even know what I was talking about anymore. I was talking about eye colors and everything. It also goes for lip colors too. You can figure out, depending on what skin color you have, different colors will look better for you. For brown eyes, plums, and burgundy colors, like the lip color I'm wearing right now, it's like a nude rose, I think. I don't know. Though I just bought a new lipstick that is like a pastel pink. I look terrible. So people who have brown eyes, don't buy light colored lipsticks. You look ashy. You look weird. It looks like I don't even have lips. Though if you have blue eyes, those pale colors will look absolutely gorgeous on you. Darker colors will look a little more bolder. They do say to stay away from your burgundies and your reds when you have blue eyes, though it is nice if you want to come off as bold, as a very bold red lip look. Blue eyes can make you look more bolder than brown eyes. For green eyes, they actually tend to go for more duller colors, or more, what's the right tint color that I'm trying to think of right now? Essentially, you want to go for more nuder colors than pink, is what I think I am trying to say, yes. It sucks because I absolutely love nude colors. Like, I love light nude, but it looks so bad on me because of my dark complexion, so I'm never gonna get what I want in life. But even though I have explained this whole time of color theories and what different colors look on you, that does not mean you can't wear specific colors. If you have brown eyes and you love the smoky eye look, feel free to wear it. You're not gonna look that bad, I promise. If you want to come across as someone who is sophisticated but you want to wear yellow, that is totally fine. You can still come off as sophisticated. It's the subconscious look that outfits give, but there is no rule book to outfits. You can wear whatever color you want and no one is ever going to judge you. And that is something I want to tell you guys, because if I have a younger audience watching me, or if you're watching this because you're in high school or even in your workforce and you're like, I want to know what colors I want to wear to be accepted, you don't have to. Wear whatever you want. And it took me until I was in university to realize that, hey, no one actually cares about you in high school, and everyone is going to forget what you look like the second you graduate. So trust me on that. It doesn't matter what you wear. Wear whatever you want. If you have a crazy, amazing, puffy dress that you want to wear to school, wear it, all right? No one cares, all right? Bullying is because people are jealous. But yes, that is essentially it on all of the different colors. Like I said, my favorite colors are burgundy and purple, though I don't even own purple in my closet when I actually looked for it. But I mean, to each their own, am I right? So I hope with my podcast today that you guys have a little bit more knowledge on fashion and what colors can make you feel like. Like I've been saying, it's okay if you do not wear the colors that you want to be associated to, because in the next episode of Just Justine Time or JJ Time, we are going to be talking about body language and how your body language can make you come across as a person that people may not think you are. And that could just stem from the different walks you do, to how you talk, to how you blink, to how you look. There is always ways to manipulate your body and to make you seem that you are a different person than from what you are. I will in the next episode also tell you how to catch liars in action. I will tell you how to be seen as more confident, as more brave. I will talk about it all in the next episode. But with that, I'm going to leave you guys with this amazing fun fact, and the fun fact is, depending on your happiness, the happier you are, the less sleep you will need in a night. So even though it is recommended to get 8 to 10 hours, because that is the recommendation for if you're working out and trying to recover and everything like that, though if you do not sleep for that long, it could mean that you are a happier person. Though, do not get it mixed up. If you are stressed, you will tend to wake up early. I myself have an internal alarm clock, and maybe some of you do too, and you just don't know it. I know I have it because I've actually tested it before, and yes, I wake up. If you guys don't know what an internal alarm clock is, it's essentially if I, in my brain, am like, okay, I have to wake up at 9 o'clock tomorrow. And if I forget to set an alarm, I will wake up before 9, regardless. And that is because I am a high-strung person. I tend to stress out really bad. So if I know that I have to be up by a certain time, my body will naturally wake itself up. Don't get me wrong, I still use alarm clocks, but even when I set an alarm clock, I will always wake up before it. Like my boyfriend, he wakes up for work at 7 a.m. or actually 7:15 is his alarm. So I always set my alarm for 7:20, but I always end up waking up at 7:08, never after 7:15. I will always wake up before an alarm. And it is like the biggest curse I have ever had, because when I sleep for the weekend and don't set an alarm, I have to set in a mental alarm. And so I end up actually setting an alarm for myself, even though I'm not even gonna wake up then. So if I want to sleep in, I will set an alarm for 11:50. Because I know I will be up at 10:30 because I set an alarm that late. And it is just so frustrating. I guess it's like a curse and a blessing at the same time. But yes, if you are a happier person, you will not sleep as much. And I can actually attest to this, because when I was depressed 3 years ago in my first university days, I slept so much. I couldn't even get out of bed. I've told this story multiple times. I couldn't get out of bed. I was just a broken person. But now in my life, though my life isn't going well right now, I did have to spend like $5,000 on my car this past week, so I've been really upset lately about that. Though I do sleep better. I do wake up earlier. I don't need a lot of sleep. Though it's interesting, because now that I'm having this stressful part in my life with my money, I am tending to sleep more. And I just feel like life is just never calm. It's either one end It's either you're on a high or a low, and you will never ever be in the middle. And the second you're in the middle, something is going to happen that is going to put you on a high or low, and you will never be in your comfort zone. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But regardless, that is life. I can't hate it if that's what is going to be for the rest of my life. But if you guys have learned anything today on the Just Justine Time podcast, feel free to rate it 5 stars, leave it a like, subscribe, comment, depending on where you see me. I would absolutely love to get those ratings, to get those likes, because, numbers make me happy, and you guys make me happy, so I would really appreciate it if you guys supported me. But regardless, again, we are going to be talking about body language and manipulation in the next episode, so I cannot wait to see you guys then. Thank you guys so much for coming to the JJ Time podcast with your host, Justine, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next episode. Bye!